Hey everybody, Andrea Beck here, Registered Dietitian from SSM Health. Today I'm going to talk to you about all of the words that you might hear. So I'm going to specifically focus on plant-based, the word vegan, the words gluten-free, and the word organic. And what those kind of mean, is it something that you might be interested in? So the word plant-based, basically all that means is that the majority of your diet, your meal, your plate is coming from a plant. That does not mean just fruits and vegetables. So plants can be potatoes, can be a grain, like a whole grain. It can be a rice, like a brown rice. It could be quinoa. It could be a bean, a pea, a corn, a fruit, a vegetable. All of those are grown foods. So that's what plant-based means, is that the food is like grown from the ground or a tree, that it's grown. So it doesn't mean no meat, but on most plant-based plans, they don't have meat at every meal. There's still plenty of protein in their diet, but it doesn't just necessarily come from straight animal sources at every meal. A lot of them are usually more fish-based. So things, if you're interested in a diet like this, I would look up blue zones and I would look up the word Mediterranean. Both of those have really great plans out there to just help you get more real food into your body. And that's really what it boils down to, is that it's trying to get in more real food, less processed food. So again, don't feel like it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to do a plan that says I can't eat any meat at all. Not what that is for. So there's a lot of the DASH diet is similar to that, to where they do focus on getting in more real food, less processed food because of all of the salt. So the Mediterranean diet has been around for a long time, since before I was a dietitian. It's nothing new, and it's still, every time they do research on it, one of the best plans for helping with obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. You think about it, the focus is just getting in more real food, less processed junk. Still includes some meat, a little heavier on the fish, and then you're getting in a lot of plant-based foods. So that is the word plant-based. If you want something strictly to follow, if you're kind of that person, I need to be told what to eat, when to eat it, show me the portion. Again, I would look up the words DASH diet, Mediterranean, or blue zones. And there are plans, recipes, everything out there that will show those words in there. Second is vegan. Now, vegan is more extreme. Vegan does take out all dairy, all eggs, all animal products, period. So there would be no meat, there would be no fish, there would be no animal products, period. And that is the word vegan. The only vitamin that they really kind of have to focus on by eating a vegan diet is B12. Most vegans take a B12 vitamin, but other than that, you're perfectly able to get in the amount of protein that you need eating a vegan diet. It's amazing how fast protein adds up. You can get protein from your grains, from the quinoa, from the oatmeal. You can get it from soy. You can get it from edamame, tofu, beans. So many great ways to get in protein. So it doesn't have to be just an animal product. Vegan diet is not for everybody. Some people kind of accidentally or slowly get there, and people do that for different reasons as well. For some people, it is strictly, for a diet reason of having no animal product, no saturated fat to their diet. For some people, it is more of a moral thing that they don't want to eat an animal. And for other people, they do it for the environment because there's a lot of money and a lot of resources spent into feeding animals and then to turn around to feed you those animals. So people have different reasons why they do that. If you're interested in it, it can be something easier to take in steps. Maybe start off with just dairy and then maybe try just maybe a certain meat or an egg and start there. See how much maybe you're getting it in. A lot of people will do Meatless Monday. And that's something that the government started years ago where they were just trying to have one day without meat. And that's something that you could do. You could have beans on that day, still all your fruits and vegetables, your grains, your peas, your corn, your potatoes. Maybe try something like a tofu or a soy or an edamame on that day. Have a vegetable soup. There's so many different ways that you can give that a try. So you could start off with one full day and just have a one day of the week. You could have a meal, maybe your breakfast. Maybe your breakfast is not going to have any meat to it, but your other meals do. Just little things like that could just make it to where you're still getting it in, but not near as much. Because Americans do eat a lot of meat, and they are typically in multiple servings in a day. So we have plant-based, we have the word vegan. Next is the word gluten, gluten-free. That got started with, there are diseases out there where people cannot process gluten. Some people have gluten allergies or gluten sensitive to it. If you've heard of the disease celiac disease, that is somebody who cannot process gluten. And so what was happening is that they were changing their diet and losing weight along the way with it. So whoever looked at it as a marketing thing for a diet, for weight loss, take out gluten for weight loss. That's not across the board for everybody. So some people can handle gluten and some people can't, just like nuts, just like eggs. Not everybody has a food allergy, and not everybody's food allergy is the same. So when something says gluten-free, that doesn't automatically mean that it's a healthier food. I've seen gluten-free cereal, high sugar gluten-free cereal, gluten-free cookies, a gluten-free pasta that wasn't necessarily like a better pasta. So there's so many ways to have something gluten-free, and all that means is that it wasn't made with that particular flour. It doesn't mean that it's carbohydrate-free or preservative-free or sugar-free or any of that. It's just not made with that particular flour. So anything with wheat, rye, or barley, those are the three things that are a gluten. And so gluten is actually a protein that is found in wheat, rye, and barley. So if somebody needs to come off of gluten, they would not be eating anything that had wheat, rye, or barley to it. They can still have potatoes, they can still have brown rice, corn, peas. There are a lot of gluten-free pastas that are made out of rice. There's like rice pastas. Of course, you can do some veggie pasta. So there's a lot of ways, especially nowadays, to still eat healthy and get in all the nutrients you need without the gluten. But again, that doesn't just make it a diet or make it healthy. It's if somebody cannot process gluten. The last thing that we have is the word organic. That's not for everybody either. Organic can and usually is more expensive. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't, but that's the way it is. It's usually worth it money-wise, but that doesn't automatically mean that everybody just flat out can. There are some things that I'll, spend the money on, but honestly, for me, not everything. I'm not perfect in that area. It's not something that I've broken down to spend all my money on. So it has to be of something that is a passion to you, of not having those pesticides. And so that's what it means, is if something is organic, that means that it was not sprayed with pesticides. There are some things that will wash in vinegar and water together, and I'll wash the fruit or vegetable in that, and that does help get some of that residue off there. So there is something called the dirty dozen, and that means that those 12 fruits and vegetables are the dirtiest, contain the most pesticides, and that if you are wanting to go organic, then these 12 would be the top 12 to shop organic in. So I wrote them down. First, we have strawberries, spinach, kale, nectarines, apples, grapes, peaches, cherries, pears, tomatoes, celery, and potatoes. So again, you can look up that list by typing in the dirty dozen if you didn't catch all of that. And so again, for those 12, you would either spend more time really washing those, or using the vinegar water, or scrubbing a little bit more. Or if you're wanting to go organic and start that direction, I would start with those 12. So there's a lot of terms out there, a lot of terminology, a lot of nutrition words, and a lot of times they can be confusing. So hopefully that was helpful with some of them. So thank you guys for being here, and I hope that was helpful. Have a great rest of your day.